To a very happy Sri Lankan New Year. We are going to start our celebration ceremony. So please come upstairs. Please come to the shrine hall. We will have our first item, which is the offerings to the Buddha. So please, everyone, come to the shrine room upstairs. So we will touch the offerings first, so we can stand up for a while and then we can. Those who brought flowers, can you bring the flowers in too? And later, can you distribute the books for those who need? Yes. Okay, come here. Okay, let's go one together. Let's start from here. Can you all come inside? Yes, over here.
A surprise.
Yes. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Buddhang, buddhang, buddhang. Vande Dhammam, dhammam, dhammam. Vande Sangham, sangham, sangham. Vande Buddham, dhammam, sangham. Vande Buddham, buddham, buddham. Vande Dhammam, dhammam, dhammam. Vande Sangham, sangham, sangham. Vande Buddham, dhammam, sangham. Vande Buddham, buddham, buddham. Vande Dhammam, dhammam, dhammam. Vande Sangham, sangham, sangham. Vande Buddham, dhammam, sangham. Vande Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, let us light a candle. Can I have a volunteer to light a candle? We have two more candles. Yes. We need one more volunteer. Come, Sakya, come, we have incense. Sakya, come. And how is can you like this? You know, please come forward and sit on the cushions. තෙරුවන් සරණින් හැමෝටම ලැබුවා වූ අලුත් අවුරුද්ද සුබම සුබ නිරෝගී සම්පන්න අවුරුද්දක් වේවා. Welcome everyone to our Sri Lankan New Year ceremony. So we are going to do our first item of the ceremony, which is the Buddha Puja, offering the first portions of the food and other items that we brought to temple today to honor and receive blessings. And first of all, we are going to prostrate 3 times. So all the children, can we bow down 3 times in front of the statue of the Buddha Sadhu? Can you kneel like me? And then put your palms together against your chest. And then we are going to raise our palms to our forehead. And then we are going to go down and place our palms on the floor and then our forehead on the floor. And then we will come back. Okay? Let us do that. Sadhu. Go down. Come back. For the second time. Sadhu. For the third time. Sadhu. Okay, now we can sit comfortably. In this new year, before we make offerings, we will renew our 5 precepts. The 5 precepts and the 3 refuges are the life principles in our life. We want to follow a life of loving kindness, a life of non-violence, and a life that will benefit ourselves and so many others. So the 5 precepts are the principles that we live by. So we will renew our vows for the 3 refuges and the 5 precepts. So if you have books, you can turn to page number 5. Others can also chant without the books. Please chant Namo Tassa 3 times to observe the 5 precepts. Recite louder. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Please repeat after me. Buddhang saranang gacchami. Buddhang saranang gacchami. Dhammang saranang gacchami. Dhammang saranang gacchami. Sanghang saranang gacchami. Sanghang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi Buddhang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi Buddhang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi Dhammang saranang Dutiyampi sangham saranam gacchami. Tatiyampi buddham saranam gacchami. Tatiyampi dhammam saranam gacchami. Tatiyampi sangham saranam gacchami. The 5 precepts. Panatipata veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami. Adhinnadana veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami. Kamesu miccācara veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami. Musavada veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami. Suramedaya majjapamadattana veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami. Tisaranena saddhim panchasilang dhammang sadhukam surakhitam kattva appamadena sampade tabbang. Say Amabhanti. Now I will read the affirmative vows based on the 5 precepts. If you have books, you can read with me. Otherwise, you can simply listen. Being aware of the suffering caused by the destruction of life, I vow to cultivate compassion and learn ways to protect the lives of all living beings. Being aware of the suffering caused by exploitation, stealing, and oppression, I vow to respect the property of others and to practice generosity by sharing my time, energy, and material resources with those who are in real need. Being aware of the suffering caused by sexual misconduct, I vow to respect my commitments and those of others. I am determined not to engage in relations without love and a long-term commitment. Being aware that words can create suffering, I vow to learn to speak truthfully and develop peaceful, kind, and meaningful speech. Being aware of the suffering that an intoxicated and agitated mind can produce, I vow to develop mindfulness and heedfulness. Turn to the next page. Now we have observed the 5 precepts, and this is the best way to start the new year, committing ourselves to live by these moral precepts, to be a compassionate, considerate, mindful person. Observing these 5 precepts, let us now chant to offer and honor the Buddha and the Dhamma and the Sangha. So we will now together chant to honor the Buddha. Homage to the Buddha. Iti piso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho vidyacharana sampanno sugato lokavidu anuttaro purisa dhamma sarati Santadeva manussanam buddho bhagavati. Homage to the Dhamma. Swakkato bhagavata dhammo sannittiko akaliko ehi passiko opanayiko paccantang veditabbo vinyuhiti. Homage to the Sangha. Supatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho. Udupatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho. Nyaya patipanno bhagavato savaka sangho. Samiji patipanno bhagavato savaka sangho. Yadidang chattari purisa yugani anta purisa punggala esa bhagavato savaka sangho. Ahuniyo pahuniyo dakiniyo anjali karaniyo anuttarang punyak ketang lokansati. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Offerings. Today we have placed these candles, flowers, incense, and special food items in front of the statue of the Buddha. And we are going to offer this New Year food to the Buddha to honor his great qualities. So let us together chant and make a wish. May these candle lights be an offering to the Buddha in honor of his great wisdom. And may these incense be an offering to the Buddha in honor of his moral fragrance. May these beautiful blossomed flowers be an offering to the Buddha in honor of his blossomed compassion. And may this water be an offering to the Buddha in honor of his cooling loving kindness. And may these food items be an offering to the Buddha in honor of his great generosity. May we also develop same inclination and determination to develop our own wisdom, our own moral fragrance, our own compassion, loving kindness, and generosity. With these thoughts, let us chant together. Offering of light. Ganesarappaditena dipena tamadansina Tilokadipang sambuddham pujayami kamunudam. Offering of incense. Gandha samvara yuttena Dupena sugandhina pujaye pujaniyantam pujabhajana muttamam. Offering of flowers. Vannagandha gunopetam etam kusuma santatim pujayami munim dasya siripada saroruhe pujemi buddhang kusumena nena punyena mitena labami mokkam Pukam milayati yatai dhammi kayo tatayati vinasabhavam. Offering of water. Adivase tuno bhante pahi parikampitam anukampang upadaya patiganhatu uttama. Offering of food. Adivasetuno bante bhojanam parikampitam anukampang upadaya patiganhatu uttama. සද්ධාවෙන් සූදානම් කර සකස් කරගත් මේ ආහාර දානයේ ලෝතුරා බුදුරජාණන් වහන්සේගේ මහා දාන පාරමිතාවට උපහාර පිණිස පූජා වේවා. මේ අලුත් අවුරුද්දේ අපේ බුදු පූජාව ලෝතුරා බුදුරජාණන් වහන්සේගේ අනන්ත බුදු ගුණයන් උදෙසා පූජා වේවා, පූජා වේවා, පූජා වේවා. සාදු සාදු. Worship of shrines. Vandami chetiyam sabbam sabbhatani supakittitam saririka dhatu mahabodhin buddha rupam sakalam sada. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Again, Subha Alut Auruddak Beva. Can we all say that? Very good. Happy New Year to everyone. Yeah. Didn't we have a Happy New Year a few months ago?
January, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we had the Happy New Year in January, right? How about this one? We have a New Year again.
I like this one better.
Because the New Year, the January is in the middle of the winter, right? Yeah. And of course, so January New Year is the New Year day according to Georgian calendar. But there are many calendars in this world. It's not only one calendar. The Georgian calendar happens to be the more dominant and prominent calendar during this year. But even a few hundred years ago, the New Year, even in the Georgian calendar, New Year was in March. But due to some political reasons, they pushed all the way back to June, all the way back to January. But anyway, so Georgian calendar is only one calendar, but there are many more calendars in the world. And there are also not only one New Year, there are a few other New Years the people are celebrating in different cultures in the world, right? So January is not the New Year. Do you know any other New Year that people in the world celebrate in other days, other months?
Chinese.
Yes. When is that?
End of January or
February, Yeah. I met some Vietnamese people. They didn't like to call it Chinese New Year. They like to call it Lunar New Year, because not only in China, in many East Asian countries, including Japan, Korea, Japan also, right? Korea, and many other East Asian countries, they follow lunar calendar. So according to the lunar calendar, New Year falls around February or sometime end of January. And there are a few other calendars. Jewish calendar, the New Year is on a whole different day, right? When is the New Year for Jewish calendar? Rosh Hashanah. What do you call Rosh Hashanah, right? Huh? Yeah, that is in somewhere in October. That's the New Year according to Jewish calendar. And of course, the big New Year for is also Deepavali or Diwali in whole Indian community. That is also in October. So there are few New Years around the world. Of course, according to the Iranian calendar, the New Year is in the March, around the equinox. So there are many New Years, at least few New Years that we celebrate every year. And of course, Sri Lankan New Year. It's not only actually Sri Lankan New Year. This New Year also celebrated in Thailand, in Myanmar, in Bangladesh, and Cambodia, Laos, and some parts of Himalayan region too, in Nepal too, right? So it's also another New Year. So anyway, because in a year, 1 year means one whole round of the Earth around the Sun. How many days it takes the Earth to go around the Sun? Yes,
365.
365. Any other suggestion?
Sometimes 366.
Can you explain the difference?
Okay, I'm a physicist, so we have 365.25. So that 0.25 is what every 4 years we put into a new day, meaning you get 366. So
Okay.
both answers are correct, I would say.
Yes. So it takes 365, around 365 days for the Earth to go around the Sun. And then the Sri Lankan New Year actually follow the movement of the Earth, and sometimes we call movement of the Sun, but movement of the Earth. So when it completes one whole round, we consider it's a year, definitely everyone. But we believe that just 2 days ago, the Sun, maybe the Earth, completes one whole round and it start a new round. Because this whole cycle around the Sun is divided into 12 sections. The one whole cycle around the Sun is divided into 12 sections. So there's section number 1, 2, 3, 4, and all the way to 12. The 12th section is called the zodiac zone of Pisces or Mina. Pisces is a Greek word for fish. Mina. So that is the last section of the one whole cycle round. And 13th of April, the Earth completes the last section and then enter to the new the first in the section number 1, which is the what we call Aries or Mesha or Aries, the zodiac zone of the Aries. So because the Earth start a new round to go around the Sun again, and we consider that's the new year that we all can come and start new. So that is how this new year is decided, following the solar calendar, not the lunar calendar, like in Chinese New Year, but solar calendar. And it's also, in a way, particularly very appropriate for the countries like, the North Hemisphere, because it's also the beginning of the spring. Yeah. Have you seen, the new buds and the new leaves in the trees? Have you seen? Anyone has seen? Yes, still there?
I saw it in my big tree in the front yard.
Yeah. The leaves have started to come out, right? So there's a new beginning. Actually, the March the beginning of the new year. So it's the spring, Vasanta Kali. Yeah. So I'm so glad that you all came here to help celebrate the new year. And then particularly Sri Lanka New Year is not only simply celebration of the new year. There are so many other customs that we follow in order to make this the year a good year, and also a year that will bring happiness and peace to our life. It's not only like celebrating or maybe fireworks and party. Sri Lankan New Year is celebrated over a few days, and there are so many things that we do in order to make this new year a real meaningful year. So one important thing that one important custom that we do is actually we want to go to our elders, we want to go to our parents and elders, and then renew our relationships with them. We want to go back to them and visit them. And particularly, we want to ask forgiveness for any mistakes, any misbehavior we may have done. Sometime over the year, we may do some little bit naughty things, right? And so we want to say sorry and then ask forgiveness from our parents, from our elders, and then we renew our relationship. We pay our respect and renew our relationships. We will do it in the afternoon. Yeah, we will explain it in more detail. So one important thing is to renew these relationships and reconnect with with all our family members and friends, and even with neighbors. That's one important other custom is that we visit every neighbor with a plate of Sri Lankan seeds. You go to every neighbor, although you didn't talk to your neighbor for a while, and maybe it's a time that you will go with a plate of seeds, and then they will open their door definitely, and they will also come to your house. So New Year is a time that we kind of amend our our issues and forgive each other and renew our relationships. And we renew our relationships not only with the people, but also with the nature. We want to be thankful to the sun, and the new year is all about the sun also. We want to say thank to the sun, thank to the nature, and thank to the harvest that we get around this time in Sri Lanka. And also, there's one important particular custom that we do. We renew our relationship with our well. Well, because well is a source of water, which is source of life. And do you know where you get your water? Where do you get your water from? Yes, river, yes. And they will clean that water, right? Yeah. So I'm so glad, Mihilin, that you know the source of your water, because many people don't know where the water coming from. They think that water come from somewhere when they open their faucet. Yeah. Thank you, Mihi. So in Sri Lanka and many other countries also, you will get your water from your own well, and then you will have a special relationship with the well. Anybody remember what you do with the well in the New Year? Can anybody remember?
People used to empty the water from the well.
Say again?
And people used to empty the water from the well.
Mm-hmm.
So that
Clean it, yeah.
Yeah, new water coming in through
For the New Year.
springs, yes.
Yeah. And then during the New Year, you go to the well and you
put some charcoal in there.
Yes, coins
Exactly.
sometimes.
To
Yeah.
clean the well.
you put charcoal and sometimes coins and sometimes flowers, and kind of giving thanks to the well and also purifying. And then you get the first water for that year. Right? Yeah, you do it on a specific time. Yeah. So being thankful to the well and also creating that relationship even with the well. And of course we also clean the whole house before the new year, right? That's also a spring cleaning in a way. And particularly you clean the stove. The stove. And you stop cooking just before, one day before you stop cooking and you clean everything for around a day, you don't cook. You give a rest. You take a break. And you don't do anything. You don't cook. You only cook when the new year arrives. You light the stove on a specific auspicious time, and then you start cooking again. Because before we start a new thing, we want to stop. And stopping is a very important act. If you simply continue to do, you don't know what are you doing. You don't know where are you going. We want to stop from time to time and reflect what I'm doing, and then start again. That's a very important practice we need to do. We want to stop from time to time and reflect, and then start again. So New Year we do that. So that's how actually we can start everything new. So today we will follow some of these customs, and so in the afternoon we will exchange betel leaves, and then ask forgiveness from our parents, from our elders, and then we will do our chanting and do the blessings, and then later we will also have our anointing the oil on your head for good health. We want all of you to be in good health throughout the year. So how we do it, we bless you by anointing oil on your head. Because if your head is good, everything else will be good. So you will anoint the oil, wishing you good health throughout the year. So today we are so fortunate to have 4 monks with us to chant for the new year. It's a great blessing, right? So we have 4 monks, and maybe some monks you know, some monks you don't know. Right? Who knows the name of the monk sitting at the far corner? Yes, said that. Oh, thank you. So good, yeah, Bante Kamalasiri. That's our resident monk, and Bante was by himself for I think 2 weeks, because I just returned from Sri Lanka last Tuesday. Bante Metta went back, so Bante Kamalasiri was taking care of everything. I'm not sure whether you know the name of this Bante. At least do you know where this Bante lives?
Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah, thank you, Timal Yakran. Do you remember his name?
Bante Buddhadatta.
Oh, I'm so impressed. Thank you, Bante. You know, they remember your name.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know anybody remember my name. So what I'm sure that this Bante just came with me. It's brand new Bante. This is his third day in the US, third maybe fourth day in the US. And Bante came with me from Sri Lanka. And so when I visited, before I visited Sri Lanka last around October and November, I contacted him through our senior monk who came, to attend our cardinal ceremony. So and then he was willing to visit us. So, but we know that getting visa is very tricky thing, But we just try our luck. And he has never been to other countries. He has only visited. He went for a pilgrimage in India, but he was willing to come and visit us and he spent some time with us. So we just tried, and he was so lucky, and he got the visa. And many other, usually in every year we support few monks. We invite few monks to come here, but not everyone get the visa. But Bante is a disciple of most venerable Attangani Ratanapada Naik Mahathera and Uludumbara Kashapa Mahathera, who are my mentors also. Then he lived most of his time in the Aranyas, in the forest monasteries, and he recently started his own forest monastery in Matale near Knuckles. And he just started 3 years ago, right? 3 years ago. But he was willing to hand over the responsibility to another monk and spend some time with us. So let us welcome Bante by saying Sadhu 3 times, and he will serve us for a few months here in our Bodhi Center. And Bante and myself brought so many Sri Lankan delicacies for you. And 2 of our bags are full of kawung and cookies and moon kawung and so many delicacies. There is so many sweets there. There are others also. If you really like to bring home, please let us know. Please feel free to bring home some Sri Lankan cookies and delicacies. And we brought a lot, right, Bante? Yeah, we brought a lot. And also, I want to thank him for preparing everything. So with that, now let us formally offer whatever you have brought to temple today to the monks, and then later you can also have the meal in the basement. So put your palms together. අපි තම සද්ධාවෙන් ගෞරවයෙන් මේ අලුත් අවුරුද්ද සකස් කරගත්තු ආහාර දානවල දානේ අපි මහා සංඝරත්නයට සාංඝිකව පූජා කරනවා කියන අදහසින් මේ වාක්‍යය කියන්නේ මේ වැඩින ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේලාට පමණක් නෙමෙයි මේ සම්බුද්ධ ශාසනය පුරා වැඩි හිටපු සීල උපත් මහා සංඝරත්නයට අපේ දානය සාංඝිකව පූජා වේවා කියන අදහසින්. Please repeat after me. Imang bikkhang bhikkhu sanghase dema. Imang bikkhang bhikkhu sanghase dema. Imang bikkhang bhikkhu sanghase dema. Ichitang patitang tuyang kipamive samijatu sambe purentu citta samkappa chandro pamanrasiyatha ayurarogya sampatti sangha sampatti mevache ato nibbana sampatti iminate samijatu. Okay, now we will go down. Before that, I want to thank Bante Buddha Dutt also, because Bante, we were in Akron Temple yesterday. They have their New Year celebration, but just after that, Bante wanted to come here and to help us. So he came all the way to help us. He worked so hard yesterday and this morning to arrange everything. So thank you very much, Bante, for spending your time. So now we will go down, and then we will light the traditional oil lamp. You remember the traditional oil lamp? Who remember who is on the top of the traditional oil lamp? Yes, Siddha. Rooster. Yeah. So you are going to light that traditional oil lamp to start to wishing light and new beginning and all the good luck for to everyone in the world. We will light this special traditional oil lamp, and then you will offer meal to the monks, and then later you will also eat new food. New food. You will eat delicious Sri Lankan food, and you will have your meal. And then you have the time until 1:30 to eat. So you can eat a lot because you have a long time. So at 1:30, we will come back here again, and then we will exchange betel leaves, right? Bante, we have betel leaves, right? I will explain the significance. We will exchange betel leaves, and we will seek forgiveness from each other. We will, renew our relationships, our bonds with each other. And then four of us will do a special chant of Pirit, to wishing you good health and all the best for this new year. Wishing you everything to be good, wishing you good health and everything. So we'll do our blessing service here. And then we will all go out, and then we will have anointment of the oil. You get blessed oil on your head. And then after that, do you know what's going to happen next? Anyone can guess? Yes, Timali? Games. Then we will start games in the outside. There are a number of games that we have that are prepared for you. So we including balloons and so many games, I don't think. Yeah. So you can join the games after that. Okay? So let's go down first. Yeah, thank you. Okay, let's go down to light the traditional oil lamp.